Let us go. Spawning in the bottom hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the pink Protoss player. We have the South Korean Protoss representing among SSU people. It is ReBellioN. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the orange Zerg player representing Team Stony Bulls. It is GgMaChine. Let's go. Let us go. We have our ZvP here, and stepping into this here, ReBellioN is a very aggressive Protoss player in this matchup. We often see a lot of 2-base play. Think Glaive Adepts or Tempest Rush or Carrier Rush or 2-base or even 3-base 8-gate all-in. We typically see hyper-aggressive builds out of ReBellioN. At the same time, GgMaChine, he does thrive in the mid-game and the mid to late game. GgMaChine, he's one of those younger up-and-coming Zerg players in Europe. He's, what, like 17 years old? He's been improving very heavily over the past 2 years, even 3 years. Has been improving, has been leveling up. And at this point, I would say GgMaChine, he's getting up to, what, like top 5 Zerg in Europe? Like, I think I put him slightly below Young Yakov. Slightly below. And Yakov is like top 4, so yeah. So GgMaChine has been improving quite heavily. It's definitely getting up there. See, GgMaChine is who Eba could have been if Eba didn't get enamored by Protoss. If he Smooge, baby, Smooge. Este Eba. SMH my head. I mean, to be fair, Eba has been playing a little bit more recently, but I just... God damn it. So now GgMaChine, he's going to be droning, saturating, building up, getting to his own hatch gas pool. And we'll see how ReBellioN decides to open up. Based on the pylon, it does seem like Stargate play out of ReBellioN, but it's not about the opener, it's about the follow-up, right? Stargate into what? Into early Twilight Council, lack of Forge, Glaive Adepts, DTs, Blink Stalkers, delayed third base. Eyes on ReBellioN. Oh, Robo. Okay. Robo opener out of our Protoss player. Very interesting. There are some older builds that did go like Robo into Bay into like Colossus drop or Disruptor drop. They're very old, very niche builds. Like they were a little bit more common back in like 2022, 2023. But otherwise, we could see the beginning of, say, something like a Soul Train-esque all-in with Immortal production in towards vanilla units here into Sentries. The other option is Robo into Twilight Council in towards a Templar Archives, but no, Robo into early Forge. We get a free scout. Oh, that should not have happened. Lings, they slip in, the wall was open, and GgMaChine gets a free scout in the main base. He confirms the Robo and the Forge. Now the Forge tells us that we're going to be going for either a +1 or +2 timing attack, so this is going to hit a little bit later. We have the Prison first to harass ReBellioN, but this feels like a +2 rush thing going into Colossus. We'll see. Yeah. We're taking up, and meanwhile early Roach Run here out of GgMaChine as a reaction, as a response. So in my mind, this looks like Robo into Forge +1, into Twilight Council, into Templar Archives, into Archons. If the goal was to go into Charge or Blink, then we would have started with Twilight Council. So this looks like a delayed Archon drop. It looks like. Into a third base, into a +2 timing with Colossus. But we'll see. Like it's always hard to get a read on ReBellioN. Blink, no Archons. Okay, it's kind of weird. What was the point of the Prism? That's the real question. Meanwhile, with GgMaChine, he's making roaches. He's building up. He does run up to 49. That's some saturation here. And GgMaChine, he can't commit. He can't commit with roaches and lings. And he may just go all in. goes down. Do we just turn this into like an 8 gate? Is that what's happening? With +1? I'm still trying to figure it out. We're getting up to 5 gates so far, I believe. Yep. Sorry, we're getting up to 6 gateways. So he's got a 6 gate setup. Our Zerg player does counterattack. Doesn't find much damage though. This is hurting GgMaChine. This could have been drones. This could have been workers earlier as well. Could have been faster saturation. +1 is now done. The 6 gateways are finishing. And this is kind of working here. I mean, because of the build itself, he's been forcing some reactions out of GgMaChine. He's been forcing some inefficient reactions and inefficient decisions out of our Zerg player. Because I believe GgMaChine thought it was an all-in coming his way, and it wasn't. It is going to be a +2 timing. I assumed it was going to be +2 Colossus, but no, it's going to be +2 with Mass Gateway and Immortals. Okay. As that is the 7th gateway. We're staying on a low gas count. Only 4 gas geysers. So it's got to be an 8 gate all in, but hitting with +2 and Immortals. Yeah. It's interesting. We'll see how well it works. Like, the problem here is that GgMaChine did drone up to 3 bases, right? He's getting a 4th base just for larva, and he's not over droning. Like, the mistake here would be if GgMaChine, if he droned up to, say, 80 workers, like, then he'd be in trouble. But he's staying on a lower drone count, he's focusing, fixating on mainly his army, so he should be okay. There's the 8th gateway, and the 9th gateway. So it's going to be a 3 base, 9 gate all-in, with +2. GgMaChine is almost maxed. Catching out the army. Diving on the sentries. And we had some force fields. That's the only force fields, so we're just locking down the army piles. They zone back the army. He cannot kite away. And he's going to kill everything. It just swallows up the entire army here. ReBellioN. He just crumbles in supply. And again, this build had some interesting quirks to it. Unfortunately, the biggest issue was it was just scouted too early. Like, it was telegraphed so ahead of time. Not the build specifically, but the aggressiveness, the aggressive nature of the build. As GgMaChine, he did cut workers early, fixated on purely Ling Road Ravager, and will overwhelm. ReBellioN GG gets called, and GgMaChine, he takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. And again, it was a really quirky build out of ReBellioN, and GgMaChine, I believe he didn't really know what was going on, but he didn't need to. He played it safe, right? He got a 340 Roach Warren timing. He did cut workers a little bit early at 47, but then when he realized that his opponent was expanding and getting a 3rd, he droned. He droned up to 66. He didn't over drone. Didn't drone up to 70, didn't drone up to 80, cut workers at 3 base saturation, and then just focus on purely Ling Roach Ravager because he assumed that ReBellioN was going for an early push and an early timing, and he was going for an early push. So GgMaChine, he was more than ready for it. GG, well played. I can see this build maybe working if there wasn't a Link Scout early on, and if there was no Overlord Scout. Like, specifically, if the initial 2 scouts were denied, then I can see this working just because your opponent is not aware as to the timings, is not aware as to how aggressive you're being or how not aggressive you're being, and maybe they overreact and over-respond. But GG. And with that, loading in the bottom left-hand corner, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of the Old Republic, we have the South Green Protoss player, the Pink Protoss, representing among us 2 people. It is ReBellioN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Orange Zerg player, representing his new team, Stowny Bulls. It is GgMaChine. Go. So settling into game 2. And I would expect to see a different build here. Again, ReBellioN, he does actually come up with a lot of his own builds, and he does often refine them with, you know, his friends, with Farmy and Lunacy and Prome and all the other Korean Protosses. They cook, baby, they cook. And I'll be surprised to see a standard opener. So far, gate expand. Likewise, hatch gas pool out of GgMaChine. Everything looking as it should. On a larger map, it would make more sense to go Stargate, and we might even see Stargate into Void Ray. That's what I'm leaning towards this early on. So I fixed up some audio issues after the break. I'll fix them up. Just realize the audio quality might be lower than it usually is. As from here, we're soon getting into our tech of choice. Based on the pylon placement, I'm assuming Stargate, but never mind. Twilight Council. Bold move. Going straight Twilight Council. Once again, there's a higher chance that this gets scouted, but that is also why we did see a Stalker opener here out of ReBellioN to make sure there is no scout. So he zones away that Overlord. Keeping GgMaChine in the dark. Ling speed is on the way. GgMaChine does pull out of gas, so there's no early Baliness or Roach Warren. Just drones. And ReBellioN, there's no forge. There's no forge. When it comes to the gas mining here, still 3 and 3. It's looking like either DTs or a 6-gate setup with glaives. Typically, it's one or the other. Glaives are on the way, but we have all this gas. But no Robo. True. No, I spoke too soon. There's a Robo. So Robo is thrown down. We're throwing down extra gateways. This might be Adepts plus Dark Templar. He does pull 1 out. Does pull 2 out. Okay. He's pulling out of gas. Looking less like Dark Templar. If it's ZTs, you usually keep 3 and 3 in. So 6 would be mining. Building up to 3 gateways. Building up to 4. So 4 gate glaives. This is quite committed. The purpose of this build, of course, is to deal crippling economic damage. It does also mean the third base is heavily delayed. GgMaChine checks, he's looking for the third, he sees that there is none, and we have a safety Roach Warren out of GgMaChine. So far, good reaction, good response. Oh, extra gateways. And he pulls back in. Yeah, he pulls back in, so this is instead going to be an all-in. Jesus. Oh, God. It is going to be a 2-base 6-gate all-in. 6-gate glaives all-in. This is going to hit very, very hard here, and if GgMaChine over drones, he's going to be in trouble. Thankfully, does Cult Workers at 41, so Cult Workers early. Roach production will soon begin. GgMaChine is supply blocked. But he does put the move out. And he knows. Yeah, he does know. He's fully worthy Adepts. Back at home, no wall. Uh-oh. No SimCity. Nice thing, runway. Distracting, delaying the push. Does lay the Adepts. Roaches are amassing. Again, lack of SimCity is concerning, but GgMaChine going for the lair in the middle of this all-in. Can he get away with it? That's Adepts, they threaten a dive. They race back home. So far, GgMaChine is keeping up with the shades. Oh, do we commit? He does. Yeah, commits into the third. Lings are going down. Drones, they pull away. Good reaction so far. Yeah, so far, good reactions. Roaches, they keep up. They lock down the Adepts. Oh, and Adepts are going down. Yeah, brutal losses here for ReBellioN. Losing too much. Has to pull away behind this building of Immortals back at home. And so far, this push is failing. Yeah, so far, GgMaChine is all over this. Picking up how many? Picking up 11 Adepts. GgMaChine, he joins up a little bit. His lair is now done. We have Roach Speed on the way. And ReBellioN needs more damage. He needs more. Gets one drone. Gets one worker. We can see GgMaChine just making sure there's no expansion. One Adept shades into the main. Getting 2 drone kills. Catching out 2 workers. Ravagers do more fin. Looks like Speed is going to finish in the middle of the fight. And again, there's no macroing out of this ReBellioN. Like, he has to commit. It's all or nothing. Big supply block for GgMaChine. 6 Overlords. Oh. 6 Overlords on the way. ReBellioN sets up for the expand. It's so late though. As it builds up to 27 Adepts. It's a lot of Adepts. More importantly, there are 3 Immortals. Lings are getting ready for a surround. We're committing in. Oh. Yeah, it does go for the dive. Lings are moving for this round. Biles, they graze the army. No major connections. We're trying to get on top of the Immortals. Nice juggling here by ReBellioN. But Adepts are going down. Yeah, Adepts are going down. Biles, they zone away. Without any Adepts, the Immortals are on their own. And there's just not enough. Yeah, there's not enough support. The Biles. Oh my god. They've zoned away the Prism. Down to 2 Immortals, and ReBellioN has been dealt with. Back at home, he does have a third on the way, but there's nothing else left back at home. There's no tech. There's no tech, there's no upgrades, there's no Forge, there's no +1, there's no Storm or Colossus or second Robo or anything like that. There is no setup. And GgMaChine is here to claim the series. He's here to take it. Stutter steps in, takes out the third, and GG gets called. GG gets called. GgMaChine, he will claim the series 2-0, advancing on into the next round. GG. GG, well played. A hyper aggressive series here by ReBellioN. Game 1 going for a quirky, weird 3-base 9-gate blink all in with +2. It hit very late, but it got scattered early on, or at least aggression was seen early on, and GgMaChine, he was ready for it. Here in Game 2, we saw straight up glaive adapts, but we saw committed 6-gate glaive build. I think we got up to 7 gateways actually, but hyper aggressive there on 2 bases. Unfortunately, GgMaChine, he did scout the early Twilight Council, and he made sure he didn't overdrone. He cut workers at 41, and then later at 44, and then later at 49. Like, again, just very, very sparingly when it comes to droning. Fixated on purely Ling Roach Ravager. GG. GG, well played. Again, if the Zerg player was greedier, if they were more confident, if they were overconfident and droned up a little bit too much, if they were lacking scouting information, different story. But GgMaChine, he reacted well. He reacted well, Pappy. And with that, so that does conclude our upper portion coverage here of the initial of OSC Elite Rising Star day number 4 for the 18th edition. It does conclude the first half of the broadcast. We're going to be going on a short break. When we come back, we'll have the second half. We're going to be jumping into the lower bracket instead. Again, this is a double elimination tournament. We have plenty of lower bracket matches. When we return, we will have a Hydra versus Shino in another PvZ. So we'll see you soon. See you soon after the break.